This ABC15 flash briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
And good morning on a Monday. Nick Soletti here with our top stories. Right now, a family calling for justice after Phoenix police shoot and killed their loved one. Police say the man was throwing rocks at officers last month. The man's family and attorney seeing the final moments of Ali Osman's life in body camera video released on Friday. It shows officers shooting and killing Osman seconds after getting out of their cars. Sunday, people gathered for a rally at Eastlake Park calling for justice.
And I just really wanted us to bring the community together. What happened to him was an injustice.
We are just so grateful to have this much people come for us and to come here and fight for my uncle.
The family's attorney says he has now watched the video hundreds of times and they're in the process of filing a lawsuit. We have asked Phoenix police for comment on this front, and right now they are declining. This week, the Arizona Supreme Court is going to consider Attorney General's motion for their next execution. If Griner and Murray Hooper could be the third person executed in Arizona this year. Hooper was sentenced to death back in 1983 after he and two others murdered two people and severely injured a third person at a Phoenix home. Griner could be released by the end of this year. That's what the former New Mexico governor Bill Richardson is predicting after a recent meeting with senior Russian officials. Griner was sentenced to 9 years in prison after she was detained for carrying cannabis vape cartridges in her luggage. Buying a used car, hard enough right now at record high prices, but after Hurricane Ian, there's something else you have to watch out for: flood damaged cars. Consumer reporter John Matarese shows us the signs to watch out for so you don't waste your money.
Enrique Sanders is a flood car detective. This AAA district manager has an eye for spotting signs that a car was soaked in Hurricane Ian or another storm, which can lead to electrical problems, even engine failure.
It looks just like a clean car until you dig a little bit further. Undercarriage, the electrical components.
Now, you might think a flood-damaged car would be very obvious, with some rust at the bottom of the doors and maybe moldy carpeting inside. Sometimes, yes, but in more cases, it's much tougher to find a car that's been flooded.
Enrique says outside, inspect the taillight housings.
You want to check for moisture.
That could mean flooding. Then he says open the trunk and peel back all the coverings.
Feel for any moisture, discoloration.
Dampness or sand could be a sign it was underwater.
And look under the floor mats.
Inside, inspect all carpeting. And under the hood, he says, brand new battery terminals or wiring can be a red flag.
Check the connections, the wiring, if they're new, if they've been replaced.
On top of an inspection, Emily Voss says always ask to see a vehicle's Carfax report, no matter the mileage.
Brand new cars can get flooded in these massive hurricane events.
According to Carfax estimates, there are about 400,000 vehicles on the road with a flood history, and that was before Hurricane Ian. Emily says do some detective work of your own by paying attention to where the vehicle was owned and serviced.
Did a car live in New York and New Jersey last year when Ida hit? And there's a little component there that you can be able to tell where that car has been.
Unfortunately, most of us won't have Enrique to help us when we shop for a used car. So get the Carfax and inspect the car carefully so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese.
In Your Voice, Your Vote, less than a month until the November election. Tomorrow is your last day to register to vote for the midterms. On Wednesday, ballots start getting mailed out and voting locations and drop boxes will open. The last day to request a ballot is October 28th. Election day is November 8th. A heads up if you're planning a trip to the Grand Canyon, the North Rim getting ready to limit operations ahead of the winter. Starting Sunday, the Grand Canyon Lodge and North Rim Campground will close. The entrance gate to the North Rim will close on November 30th or after the first major snowstorm. For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, go to ABC15.com or just download our free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC15 flash briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.